the most important thing is to get financial intelligence to learn exactly just how money works.
We got a lot of questions for you from
Some great
Instagram. A lot about Shark Tank. This is from Letitia Assar. Who do you consider your biggest competition between all the sharks, and who do you prefer to do deals with? Like sometimes they'll suggest going in and you say no. What's the mentality behind that?
Yeah, so the person who's my biggest competition is Lori. We're both in consumer packaged goods, meaning, we take goods and we put them over the counter. But also she knows how to play the woman angle, right? She knows how to say, well, if you also come and work with me, you're going to naturally you're going to get 2 and 3 hits because now you're going to go on QVC.
Yeah, right.
And let's say you walk in the room and your parents love QVC. Now all of a sudden I have to fight against, your love and affection for this other product, this other platform as well. And Lori acts so cute and crap. Like Mrs. What is she called? Shark with a heart, crap, whatever the case is. So she's my biggest competition. But the ones I love to do the deals with, it only depends on if they add more value and we can add value to each other. If it's a tech deal, I love to do it with Robert or maybe Cuban. If it's a royalty or finance deal, it's Kevin. If it's something that needs marketing and you need a genius marketer, it's Barbara. She's probably the best marketer I've ever seen in my life. So it all depends on who it is.
So it doesn't have anything to do with like personal relationships, more so like who brings what to the table.
No, I equally love and hate all the sharks.
Right. It's like hard to tell when you guys are joking.
Yeah, you guys
Because
give
I
each
don't
other a
think
hard
you are.
time.
Well, we're like a family.
Yeah.
We really are like a family, and but we also, just like a family, we're disgusted by each other sometimes.
Yeah, right. And you're moving back to Friday nights.
We're Friday nights, 8 o'clock, and this is purely because the viewers had said, listen, it's one of the shop shows, watch kids and parents together. My kids can't watch the show at 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday. They got to go to school.
Yeah.
That's true.
And other business people have said, I want to come in, I want to DVR it and watch over the weekend.
Yeah.
So by Sunday night, my mind's already racing about all the shit I got to do Monday,
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't have time to. So they all wrote in and social media and various things, and they got the network to move it to Friday nights back.
I've never heard of that. Like,
me neither.
The network listens to nobody.
We've been telling them for years. They totally ignored us. But it was a lot of millennials, also Gen Z people who wrote in who said, listen, if you don't do this, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, it's a great time to be on. I like having it on Friday nights much better.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, yeah.
Okay, that's great. From Margaret Bryan, what was your first job and what was the best advice you received in your career?
Well, my first real job, my first job was handing out flyers when I was a kid for like $2.25 per hour. I don't remember then I was running BX Cable up in the Bronx in old abandoned buildings. Then I was working at Church's Fried Chicken. Then I worked at a popcorn stand. I don't really remember the first one though, because it was all like at the same time.
Yeah. Right.
I was a foot messenger out here in Manhattan. But what was the best advice I ever received? Money is a great slave, but a horrible master. And no matter how much you're making right now, pay yourself first, put away the money, because it compounds over the period of time. But the most important thing is to get financial intelligence to learn exactly just how money works.
Yeah.
Well, we have a great question because someone named Alice would love to hear your advice on the best ways to start investing your money in your 20s. What are simple, effective steps to take? Beginner's advice for newbie investors.
Sure. So first of all, I don't want to say the old cliche, but invest in yourself and in education, whatever category you want to go into. But the market is a really great place to invest in. But go to things that you really like and you understand. Warren Buffett says he'll never invest in anything he doesn't understand. I technically only invest in things that if they went away, it would change my life. So if Instagram went away, it would change my life. If Uber went away, if Amazon went away, it would change my life. So try to find things that would change your life and educate yourself. Want to get some software, some really cheap software where you do not put any money in and you play with the investments that you like, and hypothetically you would see what you would have earned if you would have had $10, $100, $2,000 in it. But don't go out and necessarily invest besides your education. Don't invest in anything else out there like somebody else's company. Because why don't you just invest in other brilliant people like Elon Musk? And he's not going to call you to ask you for any money or ask you for any advice, right? You're just going to open the mailbox and there's either going to be money there or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So you'll save time, you'll maximize the talent of other people, and you'll have a good time.
I have a question for you because you spend a lot of time in New York. You take a lot of elevator rides. You go to meetings, business, press. How many times a day are you in an elevator and someone pitches you?
You know, I probably get pitched about 2 times a day in an elevator, but I get pitched about, I would say 30 times on the street and several hundred on social media and various other things.
Do you take it seriously?
No.
No. Well, that makes us happy because we have always said if we were ever in an elevator with a shark, we would pitch.
do our elevator pitch.
And lo and behold, we found ourselves in an elevator with you
Once.
in the Bahamas 2 years ago.
A year and a half ago.
And
we missed our chance.
We were, at the pool. We had a couple drinks, and we were just like in no shape to be making a pitch.
I remember you guys.
So we were.
You guys were all wearing white or something like
it was
that.
her
my
bachelorette
bachelorette
party.
I do remember you guys.
Oh
You
my
guys
God.
were like day drinking hard.
So we picked our heads up after you got out of the elevator, and we're like, did we just make a mistake? But I'm really glad that we
I don't
didn't.
think that
but
we did.
Here's how elevator pitch goes, and I actually put it in the book because the 90 seconds that you're going to be in an elevator with somebody, you won't know that you would ever see them, all right? But there's a small pitch you do, and what happens is, this book is about building influence. How do you build influence in 90 seconds? You don't. You tell me a little something about it, you leave, and then I go look you up.
Right.
And that's what happened with us, whether you knew that I was looking you up or not.
Shuck.
Because somebody else told me about you when we were in the elevator, and I said, "What are you talking about?" And then we went over around the corner, and you guys were raving.
As we do.
That sounds like us.
And we were like, "Yeah, I really like that girl."
Oh my God, Dad.
Because it was real to your brand.
Yes.
Exactly.
Very on brand for us to be drinking in the Bahamas.
Right.
Yes.
So when we got the call that we could potentially do something, you had already created influence with me. A lot of people think influence needs to be, no, be true to your brand.
Right.
I'm a big fan of Old Dirty Bastard. He was an old dirty bastard.
Right.
And that's exactly what I wanted from him.
Yeah.
And so when we saw you guys raving and all white, all in the corner, we were like, and I was with my kids and I'm going, Jesus Christ, close your eyes, honey. They're not supposed to do that at the pool.
Yeah.
I did call the police on you, but
That's
I
what
still,
you were doing.
yeah, I called the police on you, but I was still
Impressed.
very, very, very impressed.
Okay.
Do you find that in the age of social media, people are being more or less authentic to whatever brand they're trying to create?
I do think that people are being more, believe it or not. I think
too.
there are a lot of people, with imposter syndrome, and they're acting a certain way, and they're not getting anywhere. But I think that the ones you're seeing the success from are the people who are just true to their brands, really.
Yeah.
And I think it's refreshing in some sense, but I think the ones who are playing the imposter syndrome, they drown out. They create this
Distrust.
distrust.
And people on the
exactly.
internet have a way of sniffing you out if you're being fake. You cannot lie on the internet.
Absolutely.
I've tried. From Mooski, if you could pick 3 companies to sit on the board of, which 3 would they be?
Ooh.
That would be Tesla, Apple, and it would have to be somebody else changing the world in a good way, saving the planet. I would have to think about a company doing that. They wouldn't be changing the world in a good way, maybe, but I would be learning more from Bezos, so it would be Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely. a
I
good
love
investment.
I love global thinking people. People are thinking so far ahead. Somebody like a Jeff Bezos, they think still like an entrepreneur, even like a scrappy startup. I mean,
Yeah.
when you start telling people, listen, at work you can start taking boxes home, and we'll save on our mailing fees. I also have a trusted employee taking it home, so I know it's going to happen, and you'll make extra money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's thinking like an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're truly taking over the world.
Who's someone that would be like a dream guest shark on Shark Tank, like a Jeff Bezos or
Yeah, of course Jeff Bezos, but let's try to think of some other ones that are really
realistic?
Who's less busy?
Yeah, let's think of some. I mean, Kris Jenner absolutely
I
would
think
be
so
a
too.
guest shark.
And
yeah.
she's a great just TV personality.
She is, yeah.
She's
She
hysterical.
is.
I love her. And so many people look up to her. I feel like maybe outside of the typical Shark Tank viewer.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
If you from Elise Boo, if you could get business advice from one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
I think maybe Thomas Edison. Let me think who else, dead or alive. Business advice from dead or alive. I don't know. Maybe Gandhi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, if you can change the world, in your underwear, you probably can think outside the box a little bit.
Do you watch a lot of TV?
I do not. I don't have time.
Yeah, I get the vibe. Do you watch your own show?
I do not. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, because
live it.
remember, I shot it already, and I was
Right.
sitting in that chair for an hour and a half to then see an 8-minute pitch. I already suffered the hour and a half.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. I wish you love and power in your life. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Check you later.